こんにちは皆さん、ジャパニーズルポエムの竹雄です。今日は日本語と挨拶を勉強します。例えば、おはようございます、こんにちは、こんばんは、etc. じゃあ、始めましょうか。Hey everybody, it's wandiletakeozwane, also known as Takeo, and today we'll be learning Japanese expressions, greetings, and some new vocabulary. So if you're a new viewer, I'd suggest that you click the subscribe button and check out all my previous videos that actually give you a good context to what my videos are about. So it's basically me self-studying the Japanese language and recording my weekly progress. And to the returning viewers, I'd like to say thank you very much again. Please keep on commenting down below, like the video, share with your friends, encourage them to subscribe. So yeah, let's get right into it. So the first word would be ohayo gozaimasu. Ohayo gozaimasu literally means good morning. So it has two forms. You could either say ohayo gozaimasu or ohayo. You'd probably say ohayo to people you are in first name basis with, and ohayo gozaimasu to people that you are not, or people who are older than you. And then there is konnichiwa. Konnichiwa means good afternoon, so you say this after 12 p.m. And konnichiwa, that's the only one for it. You can't say it any other way. It's just konnichiwa. Then you have konbanwa, which is good evening. You'd probably say this around maybe 5, or yeah, after 5. You'd say konbanwa, which it means good evening. And then there is sayonara. With sayonara, it's like a very dramatic goodbye. So you only say it when you're not expecting to see somebody in the foreseeable future, or tomorrow, or yeah, not anytime soon. You're not gonna see that person. Yeah. So then we have o ya su mi nasai. O ya su mi nasai means good night. So you'd probably say this if you're leaving the room and going to sleep, or you'd probably say this to somebody who's about to fall to sleep. So you'd be like, o ya su mi nasai. And then there is sumimasen. Sumimasen means excuse me, and it could also mean I'm sorry, and it could also mean thank you. So if you would like to get somebody's attention and you're at a restaurant, you'd probably be like sumimasen, which would be like, excuse me, please come over and help me. Or let's say you bump into somebody's shoulder while walking, and you'd be like sumimasen, to say I'm sorry. And yeah, those are the ways that you could use sumimasen. And the next one would be iie. Iie. So with iie, it literally means no, but it could also mean you're welcome. So it depends on the context. So if somebody drops their books on the floor and you pick them up for them, the person who dropped the books would be like, sumimasen, and you'd be like, yeah, which would mean no problem, or it's okay, or you're welcome. Then there's ittekimasu. You say this when you leave home. It literally means I'll go and come back. And the person you say it to will respond by saying itterashai, which means please go and come back. And then we have itadakimasu. Itadakimasu means thank you for the meal. You say this right before you're about to eat a meal. And gochisousama, this is what you'd say after actually having the meal. Then there's also tadaima. Tadaima, you say this when you return home, which means I'm back. And the person who actually has to respond would probably be like okaeri nasai, which means welcome back. And then there is hajimemashite. This means how do you do? Hajimemashite. And there is dozo yoroshiku. Dozo yoroshiku, which means that nice to meet you. So to test you guys, I'm gonna give you a little quiz, and how it'll work, I'll give you scenarios and you just have to respond what you'd say in that particular situation. On a crowded bus, you stepped on someone's foot. Correct. You'd probably say sumimasen. Sumimasen. You're watching TV late at night and it's time for you to go to sleep. Correct again. You'd probably say o ya su mi na sai. So now we'll just run through a lot of like vocabulary words that I think beginners should really know. And so yeah, the first one would be ano, which would mean so this is mostly used as a filler, as fillers. So you have words like eto, ano. So those are filler words to give you enough time to process what to actually say. Then we have ima, which means now. So the word ima, you could use it in a sentence maybe to ask the time. So it'd probably be like, sumimasen, ima nanji desu ka? So you'd probably like, excuse me, what's the time right now? And then the next word would be hai, which means yes. And then the next one is go. So go means language. So if you add nihon and then add the go, it becomes nihongo, which means the Japanese language. Then we have koko, which means high school. Gogo, which means PM. Gozen, AM. Sai, years old. So with sai, an example you could make, let's say, right now I'm 20 years old. So I'd be like, let's see, ichi ni san yon go roku nana hachi kyu ju juichi juni jusan juyon jugo juroku ju nana juhachi jukyu niju. So I'd be like, niju sai desu. Watashi wa niju sai desu. I'm 20 years old. I think that's correct. Niju sai. Yeah, niju sai desu. I'm 20 years old. Then we have san. San literally means Mr. or Miss. So this is what you use for people you're not at first name basis with. So if you put their family name, then you'd add san, which means Mr. or Miss, to show respect to them. And then for people you actually know and people you're on first name basis with, you'd probably add kun or chan. So wandile-kun or takeo-kun, nami-san, naming random One Piece characters again. But anyway, as long as it makes sense. As you can see from the examples given, there's a lot of other Japanese words you can actually start learning, which are very useful, and you'll start actually developing an ear for the Japanese language and understand it much better. And that's it for this week's video. So every Monday I upload a new video to the playlist Self-Studying the Japanese Language. So please subscribe, share, and like with all your friends. And I'll see you next week with our lesson, Learning Japanese Grammar. Ja, mata ne!